Foot traffic in the 800 block of Royal Street reopened temporarily this morning until demolition crews moved in to begin removing what's left of the building that partially collapsed last Tuesday afternoon at 808 Royal Street. But even in the form of rubble, the nearly 200-year-old building served as a photo op for tourists walking through the quarter. And the sentiment among many was two things, either sad or
terrible.
I think everybody was shocked that this happened, and no matter what your affiliation with the French Quarter is.
While the cause of the collapse is still under investigation and no injuries were reported in the incident, Meg Lousteau, the executive director of the Vieux Carré Property Owners, Residents, and Associates organization, says what's undeniable for city leaders to ignore is that not only the age may have factored into the building's collapse, but years of vibration from oversized buses and large trucks rumbling down narrow French Quarter streets, further damaging buildings.
You're talking about buildings that are hundreds of years old that were built at a time when there was no such vibration. And then you add the vibrations that are caused by these vehicles, bad things happen.
And leaders in the French Quarter say that older buildings that have brick and mortar structures like the one at 808 Royal Street have been deteriorating for years. And they say that that deterioration has been sped up by large trucks sending vibrations up the street when they roll through the quarter.
Because they are undoubtedly causing vibrations to these buildings, if not damaging them outright when they can't take a corner or when the container slides off the back of an 18-wheeler, as happened last week.
And a little more than a week before the Royal Street building collapsed, she says this building at the corner of Esplanade Avenue and Decatur Street was damaged by a container truck that overturned and hit a balcony post. Warning signs are posted throughout the area, and current city law bans buses over 31 feet long from traveling on interior French Quarter streets. Drivers could face a fine of a minimum of $500 and end up in jail for multiple violations. Lousteau says the lack of enforcement of those laws in the quarter has led to what is now becoming a much bigger problem.
But for whatever reason, they're getting in here, and we as a city have got to make sure that they don't. I have to believe that most of them know they're not allowed, but they're coming through anyway, and then there's very, very little enforcement. I don't know of anybody who's been actually given a ticket for violating these regulations.